What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So we are finally getting back into my Small Brand Sunday series, which if you haven't heard of it before, I've got a whole playlist, but basically I wanted to try a bunch of smaller independent nail polish brands and see how I feel about them. And today we are trying a new to me brand. They are called Cuticula and I've seen them on Instagram for a really long time and I really wanted to try them because they have some beautiful shades. So I tried them out for you and now I'm going to swatch them for you. So a little bit of background on the brand if you haven't heard of them before. They are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US. As of the filming of this video, they are not shipping their polishes outside of the US and Canada, which unfortunately there are a lot of shipping restrictions that make it difficult to ship nail polish internationally. So just something to keep in mind if you are not in North America, it's going to be a little bit harder to access these polishes. And the brand is 5 free, meaning they're free of 5 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. Now, this to me is a brand that truly embodies that indie style that I love. Really unique color combinations, a lot of flakies and shimmers and crellies, and I think they're really gorgeous. So I have a selection of a bunch of different types of polishes from them. This isn't one particular collection, so I do have a lot of different finishes here to show you, but of course they do have a lot of really cool options on their website as well, so I'm going to link it down in the description, but let me show you the swatches first, so roll the footage. So as usual, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the Orly Bonder base coat. So I'm going to start off with the lighter shades first. This one is called Stroke of Venus, and this one is a soft, slightly dusty, warm pink that has a gold flaky running throughout, and then I think there's also a little touch of silver flaky in here, which I have to say, the first coat looked so gorgeous. This feels like a perfect bridal color, but I did end up trying a second coat just to show you what that looked like, and it also looks really beautiful in 2 coats. So incredibly impressed on the opacity here, really impressed with the color. It was so easy to apply and you can see it smoothed out so nicely even though it's absolutely packed with flakies. So definitely a gorgeous shade. It also feels like a really perfect spring color. Next up we have the shade Below Zero, and this is an interesting one. There's a lot going on in here, so let me try my best to describe it. It's a sheer base and then we have this duochrome iridescent kind of shimmer in there that head on looks blue but around the edges looks a little bit more purple, and then we have a hollow sparkle and we also have these larger blue flakes that may or may not be iridescent. There's just so much packed into here. It looks really icy. It looks really funky. I loved the way that it looked in 2 coats with just a touch of sheerness to it. And again, this also kind of feels like a bridal color. But I ended up doing a 3rd coat and that's what got me to full coverage. And I just think it's so fascinating. It really does have a little bit of a frosty feel, but not brush strokey. It almost feels like I have a matte top coat on, even though I don't, just because of the way that this kind of looks like, I don't know how to explain it. It just looks kind of icy to me. But I was really intrigued with all the iridescence in here, so of course I had to try it over black. And oh my gosh, this looked so amazing over black. You could really see that iridescent shimmer coming through in that blue and that purple. And I love shades like this where I can wear them on their own or I can wear them as toppers over deep colors. And I feel like on its own, it feels like kind of like a daytime icy color, but over black, it looks like an intense cosmic nighttime kind of color. So very excited with this one as well. Next up we have the shade Zinnia, and this one is a green, but again there's a lot going on here. These are almost hard to describe just because they're so packed with stuff. So this one has this intense duochrome shimmer in there, so looking at it head on you actually see a little bit more orange into yellow, and then around the edges you see the green and the blue, and then we also have multichromatic and black flakies in there, and there's also a touch of a holographic sparkle in there. So this is super cool. For whatever reason, it's kind of reminding me of snakeskin, and I love all of those flakes in there that just add so much to it. So really gorgeous shade, really unique to my collection. Then we have the shade Heart Container, and this one's really interesting too. I don't know why I keep on saying that, but they're just so visually interesting. Like just looking at these polishes, they're so unlike anything I own, and this one is stunning. Before I even explain it, I do want to say say, the opacity in one coat of this is unreal. I would absolutely wear this as a one coater. It is gorgeous and it is so easy to apply. But yeah, this one I would almost describe as like a rose gold, and it is just packed with flakies. We've got glitters, we've got flakes in gold, we've got black flakes, and I believe there's also a hollow sparkle in here. So there's just so much going on, but it doesn't look too crowded on the nails. It just looks intriguing. I don't know. Moving on, we have the shade Rainbow Roses, and this one is actually a multi-chrome. So my camera definitely does not do this one justice. I feel like it is way more colorful than it looks in my video, but it's got this like black base to it, and it is absolutely packed with hollow flecks. And these are what I like to call the diamond hollow flecks, because they're somewhere in between being a flake and being a glitter, and they're just really intense. And then we also have that multi-chromatic shimmer. So looking at it head on, it looks kind of green into blue, and then around the edges you see more of purple into fuchsia, into pink, and then even into orange and gold in some places. And again, it just had really impressive opacity and it was so smooth to apply. Next we have the shade Dahlia, and this one is another multi-chrome, and this one is a little bit more of like a pure multi-chrome, so it's easier to see all of the colors in there. Even though it does have that silver hollow diamond fleck in there, it's just a little bit more sparse, so the highlight is really on the color here. So we have this greenish base, but then we have this intense pigment running throughout. So head on, it looks like this purpley fuchsia color, but then around the edges you're seeing orange into yellow, into green, and even into blue. So it is just absolutely stunning. It looks like so many colors at once. You know I love a good green nail polish, but this is like elevated green. And then the last three polishes that I want to show you are jelly polishes, which you know I absolutely love, but these aren't just your average everyday jellies. They are jellies that are absolutely packed with flakies. So this first one is called Forbidden, and it is a cool toned purple jelly that is absolutely packed with flakies. So we've got a whole rainbow of iridescent flakies in there, and then we also have some black flakies to add a lot of dimension to it. So I love the way that this shade looked in 2 coats, because I do like a slightly sheer look, but I wanted to go in with 3 coats just to show you what that looks like as a full coverage polish. And let me tell you, it is really the perfect balance of being absolutely packed with flakies without looking clumpy at all on the nail. Like, even though there's so much stuff going on in there, it's still so smooth to apply, which I found to be really impressive. Next, for the flaky jellies, we've got this shade Cursed Forest, and this one is sort of a teal jelly color, and again it is just packed to the brim with a rainbow of iridescent flakies. And you can see we've got these nice larger flakes in there, and it's hard to tell what the flaky color is, but with the teal it looks like we've got a lot of purple and blue and green in there, and it is just stunning. Again, I loved the way that it looked in 2 coats, because I do like when it has that jelly-like look where you can see just a touch of the visible nail line, but once you go in with a 3rd coat you get a lot more intensity of the color, and then you also get more full opacity. So if you don't like any of your visible nail lines showing through, 3 coats is probably the way to go if you have my nail size. But yeah, this just looks like a really intense underwater mossy kind of vibe to me, and I am absolutely living for it. And then the final shade that I'm sharing with you guys today is this one, Unicorn Realm, which is another one of these flaky jellies, and this one is a black base, and we are just packed with, again, that rainbow of flakies in there. So it did look a little bit sheer on the 1st coat, but I was able to get really nice coverage in 2. Again, it had that sort of smoky, slightly sheer look to it that I love in jellies, so I would probably wear this as a 2-coater. But once you get 3 coats on there, it gives you that nice black opacity that looks full coverage on the nail, but you can still see through all of the layers of those flakies, and it is just stunning. Now, I do have some black iridescent flaky jellies like this, but I found that this one had the most flakies in it out of the other brands that I own, so I was really impressed with that. And again, even though there's so much in there, it was really smooth to apply. It felt very beginner friendly. So here are all of the shades that I tried together. I didn't put them in order of the ones that I swatched because I tried to swatch them based on formula, but I wanted to show you the comparison based on the colors that are similar to each other. Now, I do want to note this is not a collection line of nail polishes. This is just a random grouping of polishes that I'm trying from the brand, but it has a nice variety of the different types of finishes that they offer. And overall, based on trying these polishes, I am really impressed. I found that the coverage was really nice. Even for the more sheer ones, I was able to get such good coverage in 2 coats, which of course I do have short nails, so it's easier to get full coverage, but I did think that they applied really smoothly. I love the color payoff of them, and I just love how much is going on in each polish. It feels like they just pack so many different elements into each color, but somehow still manages to make them feel very smooth and easy to apply. So I will say, for the brands that I have tried that have this more indie style, this felt like the easiest formula for me, just in terms of like lumpiness and getting the glitters or the flakies to scatter nicely across the nails. I just found this one to be so easy and workable, so I was really impressed with these. So yeah, those are the polishes that I tried from Cuticula, and overall I am really impressed with this brand. I think they have a very good formula quality. It's very smooth and buttery and easy to work with, even though they do have a lot of flakies in their polishes, which sometimes can make a polish a little bit thicker. They still manage to be very beginner friendly, which I think is such a great quality for independent brands to have, because it really helps people access different formulas without having to be an expert in nail polish. So I definitely appreciate that, but overall I'm just really impressed at their unique colors. I think they have some really nice color combinations, and I think their overall polish style is just a little bit elevated from what we normally see from indies. There's just like a little extra something in each polish that I think makes it very unique to my collection. So yeah, overall I am really impressed with them. So all of the polishes from this brand come in 15 milliliter bottles. They do have what I like to call a medium wide flat brush, so it's not really wide, but it's not round and skinny. So I think it's kind of the perfect in between for people who like one or the other. And it does have a rounded tip, which I think makes application really easy and cleanup very minimal. And their polishes retail on the Cuticula website for $13 USD each. So I'm gonna link all of the colors that I tried down in the description. They also have a lot of other really gorgeous shades as well, and I'm really curious to try more from them because every polish that I tried I thought was really good quality. This brand is definitely a win for me, and I will definitely be keeping an eye out for new collections, but I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of these polishes? What's your first impression if you haven't heard of them before? And if you have tried them, leave all your thoughts on the brand in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And I am coming back with my Small Brand Sunday series, so you'll be seeing a few more new brands from me soon. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals Rocket Man's daughter, Paula, Ken, Rosie, and Courtney. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's one-to-one question comes from our Patreon supporter Amanda, and Amanda wants to know how many Orly bottles can you fit on one shelf of your tower, and how many Kiwi Shimmer? So if you watched, I recently repainted my nail polish tower, and I used to have Orly and ILNP, but I just have too many ILNPs now, so I switched those over to a drawer and I put my Kiwi Shimmers on the bottom here, but I don't know how many I can fit. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like I can fit about 8 Orleys across on each one, but that also counts the ones in the corners. And then as far as my Kiwi Shimmers, 1, 2, 3, I can fit 9 across on the Kiwi Shimmer, but that also includes the ones on the corners. So yeah, there you have it. And if you want to see me painting my nail polish tower, you can check that out on my vlog channel. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!